Joining me now is Senator Cory Booker, Democrat of New Jersey, who serves on the Judiciary and Foreign Relations Committees. Let me start with immigration. It's something I've spoken to you before about. You represent a state with people from all over the world. And just how you are thinking about both the slew of executive orders from the president and legislative developments that have happened in the Senate about, are you looking to make common ground with Donald Trump? Do you think the referendum of the voters means you're on the wrong side of immigration? You got to go to his side? Do you think resistance by any means necessary? Where are you at?
Look, I'm focused on New Jersey and doing everything I can to make New Jersey safer, stronger, and more prosperous. New Jerseyans deserve that. They didn't send me down here to fight Donald Trump. They sent me down here to fight for them. But when Donald Trump is doing things that are going to hurt New Jerseyans, like taking away their state and local tax deduction like he did in his last tax scam, if he's going to do things that are going to make their expenses go up like he did with some of his executive orders, or actually increase the prices of prescription drugs. His executive orders in those last 36 hours will actually make it harder for people to enroll in the Affordable Care Act after having this boom of people getting health insurance. He is taking action after action that is not delivering on his promise. Where is the lowering of grocery prices? Where is the making healthcare more affordable? Where is making housing more affordable? Where is pushing inflation down? No, he is doing things, even in the immigration space, that are not going to make us safer. We all believe we need to get violent criminals from any background off of our streets. But the legislation he pushed and the tactics he's taking are actually going to suck away resources from our federal government that are needed to investigate the most dangerous people and make them target children at schools, make them target dreamers and others, sending fear and insecurity throughout communities like mine. We need to come together in a bipartisan way and do the common sense things that make us safer, stronger, and more prosperous. He is not doing that.
You just said we all want to see violent criminals off the streets, and I think that's generally a consensus view, but I don't think the president agrees with that. The president of the United States released violent criminals, and this is not hyperbole and this is not editorializing. I am just stating what happened. The president of the United States, on his first day in office, affirmatively, it wasn't like a thing he had to do, released many violent criminals, including the man that assaulted the police officer I just spoke to, onto the street. So if there's a consensus about that, I don't think it includes Donald Trump.
No, it's worse than that, Chris. It's so much worse than just that. It's worse than that because he's basically saying, if I incite you to riot, if I don't get my way, if I lose in the democratic fashion, I'm going to send you to do things that are anti-democratic. And if you attack the Capitol, if you stop the peaceful transfer of power, if you stop the workings of Congress, if you attack violently police officers with stun guns to the neck, with batons to the head, if you crush spines and skulls, then I am going to, don't worry about it, you're doing it in my name, for my benefit, I'm just going to pardon you. What he is doing right now is creating a pretext for more political violence in our country in his name. And that is terrifying. That is what extremists in other countries do. And so this was not just pardoning people that attacked and inflicted injuries that led to the death of police officers like Brian Sicknick, but he also did it in the political context of saying, you were fighting for Trump, and so I'm going to use my power to pardon you.
I want to give you a precedent or a moment from history and ask you how much you think it applies here. Because I've been thinking a lot about 2003 and the vote for the Iraq War. And there were lots of Democrats who thought it was politically the right thing to do, and they weren't even wrong. It probably was a case that a majority of the country wanted to go to war in Iraq under the false pretenses. It later proved both substantively and politically disastrous. And I just wonder how much Democrats are thinking about that moment as they look now in the aftermath of an election that Democrats absolutely did lose at the highest level, President, and the agenda that this administration is going to come through, and how much you think about that.
I think about it a lot because I'm hearing from it in the Capitol. I had a non-political person in the Capitol who's never came up to me and talked about politics, but he looked at me and said, Democrats are going to rue the day when they allowed something like that bill we just passed that allows literally dreamers to be indefinitely detained, or a child who steals a candy bar. He said this is going to come back in history to really, really haunt those people that supported this bill, especially those elements, if you think about it, for one attorney general in a state to upend all the immigration coming from a country like India or other nations that source everything from academics to doctors to researchers to you name it. So right now is the time to stand up and tell the truth to the American people. Donald Trump, so far, 36 hours, is not fulfilling his promises to you to make your life easier, to lower your prices, to make things more affordable, to make you safer. He is not. He's clearly pursuing an agenda that is advancing his political retribution. Pardoning these people is setting up a situation where, again, like he did in his first term, he's eroding not just democratic norms, but in many ways, he's making our democracy less secure.
Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.